Shalom. This is your emergency broadcast alert, giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakadash, in whom we are in great depth. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who were well, continue doing so, standing firm in the eyes of Terah, who I learned this truth from. To the elders, the bishops, Akim and Aquab, salutations and blessings to the house of David. We are the hopeful elect. This is your brother Quasi with another quick one. I'll place the link of two videos. Well, I'll try to play a quick clip of them. I'll just check to see what would be the proper clip to show, because this is what I've been talking about for I don't know, maybe a month and a half or so. And I've learned from the apostles of Great Millstone that, this is the end of Esau Edom, that he's the devil the Bible speaks of. The brothers and the elders, they prophesy the same. There's been a subject that I've been particularly aware to, the Lord called me to actually talk about it, because there's something there. I didn't quite see it as clear as I can see it today. But just let me bring a subject to mind. In Vietnam, the United States lost the Vietnam War, but they won. And then you say, wait a second, how can someone lose a war but win? Well, they lost the battle, but they won, or should I say they gained monetary and the power to maintain the movement of trade and wealth. And this is what's going on now. There's such a thing as allow your enemies to think that they are winning, meaning, or should I say, let the enemy believe that they're winning, but at the same time, you're gaining the power or access that you are looking for to maintain stability. Hear this out, okay? Hear me out, because this is why our people fall to the devil's snares, because they do not listen to the word of Yahweh and Yahushai. This is Genesis 4 verse 7. If thou doest well, how are you going to do well? Because you're going to follow in the statutes and commandments of Yahweh and Yahushai to the best of your ability. Shall thou not be accepted? And I'll read that again. If thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule, or should I say, and thou shalt rule over him. But if not, he's going to rule over you. And I'll read it again if you missed it. Genesis 4, verse 7. If thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted? And if thou dost not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. You think you're going to rule over someone that has you in the trick bag?
Donald Trump is the worst president in human history. But what if, for some strange reason, Donald Trump wants to lose his war in Iran? What if he wants the American empire to collapse? What if Donald Trump wants to destroy the global economy. Then he'd be a genius, right?
But he's not the genius. It is his controllers, the one who created the First World War, the one that created the Second World War, the ones who created this Third World War, by the hand of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, of course, because the Lord controls everything, the good and the bad. But since we're living in the world and we see the things of the world, we correct ourselves through the Spirit, just to make that clear. We have to speak of the world the way the world works. So, this is 1 Peter 5, verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. And that's specifically for the tribes of Israel, but today it includes the world. And he wants to devour whom he ever can. Ecclesiasticus 12, verse 11. And this is my point all this time that I've been making these videos. All right? This is why I say that America is doing the same thing that they did in Vietnam. All right? They trick. But see, what happens is that they have a little bit of knowledge or understanding of how Esau Edom work. But those little hats control the banking system. So no matter what happens, let's just say there's no little hat in China that controls any of the banks, right? But they control everything around them. Just saying. So one way or the other is going to affect China. One way or the other is going to affect Russia. All right? This is why it needs to be a worldwide thing. All right, this is what they're working for. RFID, worldwide. So it goes like, this is Ecclesiasticus 12, verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou doest wipe a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. Again, and these scriptures are directed to Israel, but because we're living in his world, in his kingdom, it affects everybody. All right? And when I say his world, his kingdom, this is Esau Edom's kingdom. All right? This is Esau Edom's heaven. All right? This is where he rules. Right? The Lord has given him, Job 9 and 24. The earth is given unto the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he, and what he has done? The Lord has given him power to erase from your mind that you are Israel. Yahweh Shem Yahushua gave Esau Edom, so-called white man, the power to hide the truth until this day. And this is what it means, because all the things of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, including his name, was taken away. So the Lord did that, but how he did it? He used Esau Edom. Salakia. He used Esau Edom, so-called white man, all right, to give you a beating, to destroy you, to stop calling upon the name, for most part. The Lord has done other things too, to cover the name. Strong delusion includes that too. That you might believe a lie. this is what's going on today. Strong delusion is strong, in on our people. So strong that other nations know and our people deny. So I mentioned this before, right? I mentioned this a couple of videos back. I never realized, I didn't have no idea that this was going to come up, because I did mention in that video, that Esau Edom, so-called white man, was eventually going to use this weapon to create earthquakes, because they don't have to go in there and start bombing. This is just a shamble. It's all a shamble, man. It's all an act, okay? It's all an act, period, right? Because Esau Edom have weapons that can destroy and humble people in words, for lack of better words, man. But they have to show this might and power, because if they come out using these these new weapons, the state-of-the-art weapons, there's a lot of people that are hip to those weapons, that they have the understanding that these weapons exist, but they cannot show proof, and everybody's going to back them up. This is why a lot of those scientists are disappearing, because Esau Edom have certain weapons, certain devices, or should I say, or they have vehicles that were created through the left hand power. When I say the left hand power, I mean I'm talking about the left hand of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Just as we have power of the right hand and the understanding that they cannot, trick us, because we have this understanding. They also have knowledge into create certain things. There's a saying that goes around that aliens visit, America, and they made a deal with the government, etc., etc. Well, not the government exactly, but people who do witchcraft have encounters with these demons, and for them to explain it to themselves, because that's what the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai put in their mind, they call them aliens, beings from other dimensions, other worlds, right? Because they don't have that understanding that these are the angels of Yahweh Shem Yahushai that are working on the right side and the left side. With that said, I don't want to confuse you. If I already did, I apologize. But I'll place the link for these videos in the description box that you might be edified. Now, if you want to understand more of the alien agenda / demon, Albert Pike, you should, Albert Pike. Let me see something. So this is the guy here, mind you. This is the guy that spoke of the world wars, World War One, World War II, and World War III. He was the one that came up with the blueprint for it. And there's this other guy. Well, actually, this is Albert Pike. Yeah, well, his name is right there anyway. So you might want to ask yourself, what does this man, or what influence did he have on America, aka Babylon? Especially this guy, Rasputin. You should look him up. Find out the things that he did, with the connections that he had. Don't take my word for it. Look these people up. Find out their connections and what they did. What did they contribute to the system? Okay?